Hey guys, Kux here, multi-rank 1 Holy Paladin, Mythic Plus title holder every single tier, and today I'm bringing you a pull-by-pull breakdown of Floodgate on a plus 19 key as a Holy Paladin in the War Within Season 2. This isn't just a basic dungeon guide, I'm walking you through every pull, every cooldown, and every decision I make from positioning to utility to burst healing. So let's get into it. As you can see, the video is going to start off here. I completely forgot to record the beginning first pull, but for the most part, the first pull, you're essentially just dodging saw blades, keeping up consecrates, keeping up judgment, and just healing your party whenever you can. Ideally, all of these trash pulls, almost every single trash pull, you're beaconing the tank and you're beaconing your boomy or your mage. Okay, so let's get into this first pull. Arguably, this is the hardest pull in the dungeon if your tank does it this way with every single mob. You just want to interrupt the casts from the casters and you want to stun them if they're casting the surveyors, right? So the surveyors have a cast that they channel, you need to kick that, and then they have a cast that they cast on somebody and it does a chunky amount of damage. You can stop that, you can blind it and you can hodge it, but it will only prolong the cast time. They will cast that ability again right after when they can. This pull, you want to essentially just kick the harpoon divers, right? And you want to move away from these bombs, and you want to heal anybody that gets those nail guns thrown at them, because they're going to take a chunky amount of damage and they're going to get rooted. Now, you can freedom this root if needed, but you don't really need to half the time, okay? But if you're ever in a sticky situation where you have to move instantly, you can freedom it, okay? Now, you can stun the divers or you can kick them, whatever you can. Once you kick one diver, it will stop casting and it go on a cooldown for the cast, and then the next one will be lined up. So if you're pulling 6 harpooners, divers, they're not all gonna cast at the same time. They're gonna take turns casting, and then you just need to interrupt the harpoons. If the harpoons go off on somebody, you need to bop that person immediately. Okay, this pull right here, we run in, we wall, we just judgment, we put down consecrate, just doing as much damage as we possibly can. Ideally here, you want to be very, very close to melee, and these saw blades have a lot of room to dodge. They're not like exactly how the animation is. Like, as you can see, I'm standing like right in between them and I'm not getting hit, right? The same thing here, we're stopping the surveyors, we're kicking surveyors, and if one person gets the easy throw dynamite on them by both of them, you want to ideally hodge one of them to offset the cast times, okay? So once again, we're just keeping down consecrate, we're rotating our abilities, we're doing as much damage as we possibly can, we're keeping our team topped up as much as we can, right? If you're just focusing on healing these keys, I wouldn't do what I'm doing. I would just spam heal everyone, but I'm really only healing when it's essentially needed, right? So like right there, I could have healed the rogue, but I noticed the mob was going to die before the throw dynamite was going to go off, so there was no point to heal the rogue there, right? Now this fight, you want to keep your party top the entire time if you're pulling the Shrednator on the boss, right? So everyone should be full health this entire fight here, because this boss does a ton of random damage to random players on your team, except the tank. Ideally, I should have swapped the beacon to my mage here. This debuff right here, you need to cleanse it on top of a bomb, but you need to make sure the target is full health before you cleanse it. So the person that gets the cleanse needs to be on a bomb ASAP, and you need to pay attention to where they are so you don't cleanse them while they're not on a bomb, okay? You can use those cleanses to clear the bombs, and you're just charging the boss to where the bombs are and getting rid of the bombs. See, like right there was one more bomb and it was on the mage, and I ended up cleansing the mage right on the bomb. But what happened there, I wasn't really paying attention and I didn't heal the mage before the next boss mechanic, and he got one shot by it because I didn't top him, right? So that was completely my mistake there. See, the debuff is on me, I wall it, I cleanse it. Ideally, you want to cleanse that debuff instantly, but you want to make sure the person you are cleansing is on a bomb, okay, to clear the bombs. And then you're just using the charge to clear the bombs. We're going to have one bomb here to clear with the debuff again. Debuff should be going out here soon. It's going to be on the druid. I noticed the druid is right on it already, so I cleanse him instantly. Right, so we're just min-maxing, keeping down judgments and consecrates as much as we can, and doing as much damage as we can to the boss. But priority on this boss is keeping your team alive and cleansing the bombs, the bomb mechanic on top of these bombs, Okay, so right there, I noticed the druid got the debuff, and I ended up sacking him. I looked where he was. You see how I turned my camera around and I looked where he was, and then I cleansed him to make sure it hits the bomb. At the same time that I'm dodging fire and stuff, I'm aiming the charge where a bomb is to make sure I get it. Right here, I see the mage on top of it, so I cleanse him instantly. Keeping myself alive. Casting Tears. Tears is really bad. Not that much healing, but it does buff up your Holy Shock, so it does help you. And it does give you a small passive heal while you have it up, so it does help you. See right there, the rogue almost died because he ran out late. You want to make sure when you get that debuff, you run out early. Right here, I could have tried to make that bomb, but there was no possible way I would have made that, so I just tried to aim the charge away from the group into the wall, and I tried to aim the charge in a way to where the boss can line up for the next charge to hit the next bomb easily, right? And you notice there was no more bombs left, so I knew I could cleanse that debuff instantly the second it applied to somebody. Because ideally, like in a high key, especially in a 19 or a 20, you really cannot even let one tick of that bomb go off, or the person you're cleansing will most likely die, especially if they don't have a cooldown up. Right here, I get the bomb there, I get the gun, I mount up, I put on Crusader Aura to help out a little bit. Run to the next pack. This next pack, what you're looking for here, the key mechanics is going to be the snipers do a kick, do a cast. You need to pick a sniper, put it on focus, and spam kick it whenever it casts. The snipe is uninterruptible and it's damage on a random person, so you need to pay attention to that. And the trick shot is what you can kick, so you should be able to kick that as much as you can. And you're dodging the demolitionist frontal, and you're dodging the bombs, the big giant circles on the ground. Other than that, you're just spam healing everyone that's getting sniped, and you're just doing damage. Now, this weak aura I have on my raid frames, as you can notice, you can see the mechanics as they're being casted on people. I will link that down in the description below, and that should help you to preemptively see mechanics. You see the druids getting casted on by snipe and trick shot. The trick shot got interrupted. See, I get targeted by snipe. I get targeted by snipe with the mage. The rogue's getting targeted by snipe. So you know that that damage is going to happen before the damage even happens, and you can prepare for it, right? You can prepare for these mechanics to heal them before they happen. Okay, very overpowered add-on, not add-on, but weak aura. Sorry, doing as much damage as we can. Right here, we want to make it easier or less of a pain in the ass. You want to try to interrupt the inspectors, like either blind them or hodge them when they jump out and do the frontal, or stop the reloads on the other guys. And you want to cleanse your tank here. Some of those mobs apply a stacking magic debuff. You want to just cleanse your tank whenever he has a couple of stacks. This fight specifically, you're going to focus on three things. You're going to focus on keeping down Consecrate and Judgment whenever you don't need healing. And you're going to focus on preemptively preparing for the massive AoE. And that's really it. Cleansing the tank as well whenever he needs, and dodging this frontal, right? On this fight, you can run in, Judgment, Consecrate, and instantly Divine Toll the boss, and your Divine Toll will be up before the next AoE. Okay, so right here we're killing these ads. We're just AoEing them down. We're killing them a little bit fast. We should have slowed down on the ads here a little bit because they're dying so fast. And I want to keep my tank cleansed here as much as I can before the AoE happens, because during the AoE, which is happening right now, I don't want to have to cleanse the tank or press Judgment or Consecrate. Okay, I just want to Divine Toll and spam heal everyone, right? So I should have casted at Tears like 2 seconds before I casted it right there. That's why we were almost in trouble there. We almost died. So I ended up having to press Wings. Now we're using the strategy here where you go into this corner and it instantly jumps all of the ads on top of you. And what I'm doing here, what I'm focusing is I'm just focusing on keeping down Consecrate and Judgment as much as I can. Healing is not that crazy during this phase until the boss is at full energy. The only thing you have to dodge here is the frontal that just went on the druid, right? the person that gets that frontal will get that mechanic and move out. And then sometimes the swirlies will be on the spot, so you'll have to move. And make sure you kick these ads so the casts don't go off. So ideally, you want to put one of these ads on focus and just spam kick it the entire fight while you're attacking the boss. Okay? So the ads are about to die here. We need to start preparing for the next AoE. I pressed wings kind of early there, which is really, really bad. But I wall AM and I still have my trinket. The mage altered, so I don't need to heal the mage right now. I should divine toll, spam heal the rogue, spam heal the druid, spam heal myself. As you can see, even with all those cooldowns, the mage almost dies. Right? We run to the next corner, stack up the ads again. Now, you might not be doing this strategy of stacking up ads in your pug. So if you're doing this normally, just spread out and just dodge swirlies and just do as much damage and as much healing as you can. Just play the fight normally. Ideally on this fight, you want to also swap beacon on your tank and your boomy. But I keep it here on the mage and the druid. Ideally, I should have swapped it to the rogue and the boomy in this situation because the mage is very, very good and he's pressing his altar at the perfect times, right, during the AoE. So I have to heal him the least. See, I get the frontal here, I dodge it, I horse, I run out, I dodge it so I don't take damage, I run back in. Damage is coming up. Once again, I pressed tears too late there. I should have wings here, but I bubbled instead. I think I still end up pressing wings, maybe not. Oh no, so I held wings there, which was a fine press because the boss is so low. You want to try to hold wings for the next pull. I kind of wish I would have held bubble there and used my trinket instead, because that would have been a much, much better use of my abilities there in that case. Right, so I have every single cooldown coming up for this next pull except Tears, Aura Mastery, Sack, and Bubble. But I have wings, I have Divine Toll, I have Pot, and I have my trinket. I try to get a drink in between here just to kind of fill up my mana, top my tank, top my druid, put down consecrates, put down judgments, get in as much damage as I possibly can, try to ramp up my holy power, put the sniper on focus. I need to hodge and kick the sniper whenever I can. I hodged the demolition a bit too late. I should have hodged him there earlier and it would have prevented this giant circles on the ground. I should have, right here, I should have told a lot earlier as well and wings instantly instead of trying to greed wings, because I ended up having the wings anyways. The only thing you're preparing here for is the Blood Warper AoE. That is the biggest, hardest mechanic in trash in this key, okay? So you're just spam healing that absorb you off of everyone as much as you possibly can. I think somebody ends up dying here. Yeah, the rogue died because one of the I died as well. Okay, so the rogue ended up eating the loader bots there. That's why he died, and I just died because the cast went off. So I am extremely behind on healing here and I need to top everyone. But the Blood Warper is dead, so there's no more AoE. So the pull is pretty much in the bag. It's secured. So right now I'm just focusing on keeping everyone alive, keeping down consecrates, cleansing the tank whenever I can. Right now I don't really need to cleanse the tank, so that's kind of a wasted global. I just need to kick that ad and stun it whenever I can and keep my boomy alive because he's taking quite a bit of damage here. Keep down consecrates, keep down judgments, dodge the bots because the bots do a circle wind up AoE that chases you and fixates you and follows you. You want to dodge that. You don't want to eat that. You don't want to tank that. And as you can see here, I'm not cleansing the tank because he's taking 0 damage, right? So it's a waste of a global to cleanse him. I cleanse him now because we're out of combat. There's no more damage. My druid is getting the thing. I jump down. We're going to do this pull. This pull is actually very scary if not done properly, because if you're not stopping these interrupts, these channeled AoE abilities, this jettison kelp, your group is going to take an absurd amount of damage. As you can see there, I almost died, right? So I need to keep down consecrate, keep down judgment, divine tolling the mobs. I'm just doing damage here. Ideally, you want to save divine toll for the group here. You don't want to be Mongo like me. Like, I'm very zugzugging keys. I just do damage and I just heal whenever I need to heal. I should be holding wings here because the boss is happening soon. I should not be pressing wings, but I don't remember what happens here. I think I hold it. But we have another pull after this, so I think holding wings here was good because you want to have every single cooldown you have possible for this boss specifically, because this is a very, very hard boss, arguably the hardest boss in here. The only boss that is slightly maybe harder is Big Mama, but Big Mama is just like intervals of damage, so it's technically easier to heal. This boss is like continuous damage 24/7 the entire time. So right here we're just spam kicking the divers. We want to make sure none of these divers get a harpoon off, and move away from the bombs slowly, right? You don't want to move away from the bombs too fast, because you want to kind of stack them up, right? So you don't run out of space and accidentally pull the boss. So we kick circle there, swapping to the next ad. So as you can see, I'm kind of rotating in between. One of the casts went off there on the rogue and I ended up bopping it instantly, so he was fine. As you can see, I'm kind of rotating through my nameplates, trying to see which one is casting next. It's a little bit difficult to track which one is casting and stuff, because there's so many mobs and so many things happening. But you just want to look at the debuffs, and you want to look at the weak aura of the harpoon cooldowns and get ready to kick it when it's off cooldown. I'm going to have these weak auras linked down in the description that are going to help you play a lot better in these keys as well. So here you're looking out for a couple of different things, right? Like you're dodging this mudslide, you're moving to the left. Everyone needs to be moving in the same direction or the same vicinity, and you want to just like spam heal your DPS as much as possible. It's not very important to heal your tank that much unless he needs it, right? Because you need so much healing on this boss, specifically for your party, and you just want to dodge while you're keeping up as much HPS as possible. And what you want to prepare for is called Awaken the Swamp. When Awaken the Swamp is happening, you want to basically press all of your defensive and healing cooldowns to keep your party alive, but you also want to rotate your cooldowns properly, right? But at the same time, before the Awaken the Swamp, your DPS are taking a massive amounts of damage from the link, and you want to try to keep them alive, but you want to try to not Divine Toll until Awaken the Swamp, because that Divine Toll is going to help you a ton during the chunky AoE parts of the fight, right? As you can see, I'm spam Holy Prisming the boss for max healing. I'm judging, I'm spam Holy Shocking my group. I'm just spam healing here. I'm rarely ever, I even flash lighted there because I ran out of heals. I'm rarely ever pressing down Consecrate. So like here, we're starting to be in trouble, right? I should probably not have tolled here. I think I toll here. Okay, so I'm holding toll, which is fine, but I'm starting to fall behind, right? So I manually cast a Holy Light there. I'm just doing as much as I can to keep my party alive right now before the Awaken Swamp without using a single cooldown. So I get a Awakening proc there with the Rising Sunlight from the Divine Toll. So right now we should be fine on this AoE. At the Lay on Hands the Druid randomly there. Okay, just fine. I have Wings coming up in Tears. So, and I also have Bubble. So we're starting to be really good on cooldowns here. We also have Lust coming up in 10 seconds. In hindsight, I don't know if I should have pressed Wings right there, because we did have Lust coming up in 5 seconds, but the boss was very low, so I just wanted to get further into the fight. Summer myself. Just heal as much as I possibly can. I should have, yeah, that was the right call, actually pressing Wings there now that I look at it, because the rogue got to like 5% health, and that was with Wings. So you're just healing this entire fight. Like, I made a mistake to pressing Consecrate there, right? Don't worry about pressing Consecrate on this fight. There's so much healing here. So like here we're moving left, right? But 2 puddles spawn to the left, so we're gonna start moving to the right. And I end up just bubbling here because the fight's almost dead, and I don't really want to focus on dodging here. I just want to focus on keeping my party alive. The biggest mistake I would say that I've made this fight is babysitting the tank too much. Like right there, I Rising Sunlight, triple Holy Shock the tank, and I should not have done that. Right, because that is a massive heal. Right here we jump. We're gonna do the skip. For some reason I took fall damage falling in the water. I don't know why. And I try to, if this ever happens and you're doing the skip and you take damage, do not heal. Right, but we're killing bubbles here. For some reason. This is the Holy Paladin route, by the way. We're going to kill bubbles here. We need to preemptively prepare for this backwash mechanic. So I AM, wall, and pre-tears. and I pre-wog and I divine toll. I should have divine tolled a little bit earlier here, but it ended up working out fine. I just barely lived with like literally like 1% health there. To be fair, I don't think I've ever pulled this mob, like ever, aside from like a plus 14 at the beginning of the season. So I have wings here, so we should be fine. I don't have divine toll though, which is kind of bad. We have divine toll coming up next. I prism the boss. We just barely live again. As you can see how much damage this guy is doing on a 19. Like on a 20, we would probably be dead with this comp. Having a DK instead of a rogue in this key it makes this key so much easier. It's actually insane. But I'm a Holy Paladin playing in a priest meta, so we'll see. So right here, frontal happens, backwash is coming up in 2 seconds. I have trinket, so ideally I should have swapped beacon to my rogue here instead of beaconing myself, and I should have trinketed here instead of spam healing myself, which but ended up working out fine. See, I'm a little behind on healing here, and I want to top us before this pull because this pull does a ton of damage, and you want to focus on cleansing this pull. Ideally, on this pull, you want to keep down Consecrate and Judgments and just spam heal every single person to full health. And you want to target one electrician, put it on focus, and spam kick it. And you want to target the other electrician, and basically you wait for the first magic debuff to go out, and then you hodge one of the electricians to offset the magic dispel. That way you have the spell coming up instantly for every single one. Okay. So ideally, you just want to hodge one of the electricians. The second electrician that is pulled into this pool, you want to hodge it about 2 seconds after it's pulled. So like here, you see I'm focusing on dodging. I'm not really min-maxing my position. I'm just focusing on dodging, blinding when I need to, cleansing when I need to, healing when I need to, kicking when I need to, hodging when I need to, okay? This next pull, we're going to go ahead, and the inspector jumped in the water for some reason, like he got knocked and ended up bugging. So we had like kind of like a standstill moment here where we were like, what do we do here? What do we do here? Right, so now we're going to go to the next pool. This next pool is actually pretty hard too. So what we ended up doing is CCing one of the casters, killing one of the casters, and then killing the caster that we CC'd. Because this is actually a really, really hard pull, especially if you run out of kicks. You can get globaled on this pull, right? Because you're dodging frontals, you're cleansing debuffs, you're getting spam AoE'd by the jump starter, and you're spam kicking the electrician. And also the tank is getting a stacking debuff that you cannot cleanse. Do not, and I repeat, do not cleanse the tank during this pull unless you stun the electrician right before his magic ability, because if you cleanse the tank, you'll most likely not be able to cleanse the magic debuff like I did just here just now. Luckily the mob died. Okay, so it actually went off on me, and I ended up having to heal myself for 2 globals instead of cleansing it instantly, right? Just because I chose to cleanse the tank. I cleansed the druid, I kicked the mob. I think I hodge it here as well. What I should have done is I should have cleansed the tank instantly, and I should have hodged the mob 1 second before he casted the cleanse. That way I can cleanse it. And so we're going to skip these mobs. We're going to go to the left. Here you want to press your wall or you might die. And you want to horse run. You probably don't need a wall, that to be completely honest. But you might actually need to. Look at, I went to 40% health just running, and you can't heal during that pull, or you risk proccing your trinket on your tank and then going into combat and wiping the group because you can't skip those mobs. So the hardest part of this boss is this first AoE, actually, unironically, because you don't have wings for it. Luckily I had a awakening proc right there, so I had a small wings. But you want to try to wall trinket and divine toll that first AoE, and then what you want to do is whenever these charged these Gigazaps go out, you want to try to swap your beacons to the 2 targets that have the charged Gigazap, and you will know ahead of time when you get them. You just want to focus on this mechanic. You want to get your zap into a puddle that is not zapped already, and your damage on this fight is going to vary because you're constantly in and out of melee, and you're just really spam healing the entire fight. You see how I swapped both beacons on the druid and the rogue, just to have something like a safety net for them, because you're playing with 5% DR and beacons, so they're taking 5% less damage as well when you swap that beacon. Right here, we aura mastery, we wall, we trinket. We're basically immortal here. We can't die, and then we're just spam healing. Get an awakening proc as well for that AoE. The Gigazap is about to come out here. You want to rotate your defensives for Gigazap, so like bubble, lay on hands, sack, stuff like that. You see how much damage it's doing? Like, I almost died right there. I was 1 tick away from dying there. Just focus on getting your zap into the puddle. Just do the mechanics. We have plenty of time to kill this boss right now, so all we have to do is stay alive. Get a tears up before the turbocharge, which is in 5 seconds. Spam heal the party right here. This is going to be the hardest overlap right here because it's Gigazap into straight AoE. We're going to Divine Toll instantly. I'm probably going to bubble this. Just spam healing my druid and my rogue, and I sacked my rogue there while I bubbled, and my mage is altered, so I really didn't need to heal him at all. Same thing, Gigazap, swap those beacons as much as you can. Preemptively Holy Light if you can before the damage comes out, so you time a Holy Light right before the damage happens. See, even with all of that, even with wall, I still almost died. I don't want to wings because I need to save this wings for the turbocharge. So I'm trying to find a puddle here. I have to go to Africa right now. I put down a consecrate in the meantime because there's no healing going on. Keep up Eternal Flames. We have a Gigazap. We swap beacons. I should have known my rogue was going to cloak some of these, so swapping that beacon was a wasted global, but it was fine because it's like, at the end of the day, it's a safety net, right? And I have wings here. I have spring. My mage has altar. I know my mage is fine. I don't really need to panic heal him that much. I need to heal him at the end there while he has no altar, and we're good. Now we're gonna have a Gigazap coming in 3 seconds. Keep down a consecrate, judgment the boss before the Gigazap. Bot beacons, pre-holy light heal, prism, bam, eternal flames, prism the boss to heal the rogue and the druid at the same time. We're good there. Kite this thing into the thing. Sting into the thing. Even I have no idea what's going on half of these fights, to be honest. I just do big damn and big healing. Right here, we're starting to fall behind. Like I kind of panicked there and I land hands myself. I completely messed up the beacon swaps there. I don't know why I didn't swap them to the mage and myself, but we're fine. This is the last turbocharge and the boss dies. All right. So that's it. A full 19 Floodgate walkthrough from a Holy Paladin POV. If this helped you, let me know in the comments and drop a like. I stream all my runs live on Twitch at twitch.tv/KillaKTV. Come through if you want to ask questions or see these guides in real time. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.